Point 5 says this, Mark chapter 1, verse 43 through 45. Then Jesus sent him on his way with a stern warning. Jesus was moved with compassion, but here's the stern warning to obey in the moment from the Lord. He said, don't tell anybody about this. What do you mean? This is a great news. I should go. There was a thing to go through. You had to go through this purification ritual. You had to go present yourself to the priest. Jesus was saying, hey, the Old Testament law is still in effect, right? So I want you to go to the priest, go through these things. Let it be verified that here God actually healed you. And then you can start telling the testimony. But the guy couldn't obey that. He didn't obey that. In fact, look what it says. Don't tell anybody. Verse 44. Instead, go to the priest and tell him, examine you, take along the offering required by the law of Moses for those who have been pure, that have been healed by leprosy. This will be a public testimony that you have been cleansed. Jesus' instructions. But the man went and did whatever he wanted to do. Great news? Yeah. But it wasn't done in the right way. He didn't obey the Lord. But the man went and spread the word, proclaiming to everyone what had happened. Well, okay, we need to tell this. As a result, large crowds soon surrounded Jesus, and he couldn't publicly enter a town anywhere. He had to stay out in the secluded places, but people from everywhere kept coming to him. You know what they were coming for? Just for the stuff he could do for them. Jesus was like, I've got to preach this gospel about a relationship with me, that people will come and want me, but you going and doing it your way is going to make them want me for things that I can do instead of wanting me for me. And it hindered the ministry of Jesus when he disobeyed. Do you understand that when we disobey what God tells us to do, it hurts the work of the gospel? It hurts the work of what Jesus really wants to do. He said, I came to preach the good news of the gospel. We can get so focused on ourselves that we're not focused on the kingdom anymore. We can get so focused on what we think and I know Jesus said this, but I'm going to do this anyway. And we hinder the work of what God really wants to do. We can get so focused on that miracle and miss the greater miracle. Nothing in there says that he followed Christ. Nothing in there says that he was saved. Nothing in there said that his faith made him well. In fact, we have to assume that this guy really didn't follow Jesus any longer. He was just excited about the good thing that Jesus did for him. This disobedience of the leper caused God some problems. I'm a little bit upset with the leper. But the gospel couldn't go forth like Jesus wanted it to. It's his ministry. He wanted to do it in a certain way, but this guy hindered this. He made God have a hard time finding some time to be able just to teach without doing a sideshow of miracles. That's all they wanted, was a sideshow of miracles. A real miracle, yes. He still does them today. But we must seek him more for the miracle that he can do. We must seek him for the master that he is. The message he came to preach was the gospel of the good news to people to be saved. He made it hard for God. He made it hard with his other buddies who testified about the works. He made it hard for Jesus to be alone with the Father. Now more people were coming in from everywhere, and Jesus was like, I've got a different way of doing this, and you're hindering that because you've rebelled and you've disobeyed, and I've sternly warned you, but you have not obeyed what I told you to do. Disobedience always causes God's kingdom problems. Just like the disobedience of the leper caused problems. So now here's the catch in this. Listen. So Jesus said, don't go tell, and he went and told. Jesus has told us now to go and tell, and we don't. We're as equally guilty in hindering the work of the kingdom. We're as equally guilty in hindering the work of the Master when we don't go tell the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ, tell our friends about and winning them to Christ, because we're consumed with us. I want to do it the way I want to do it, Jesus. I know you said do it this way. Jesus told him it's not time. Don't go tell just yet. Do it this way. Do it my way. I'm going to do it however I want to, Jesus. Jesus said, don't go tell, and he went and told. He tells us to go and tell, and we don't. Let me ask you, have you told somebody about Jesus this past week? Have you told somebody about the good news of the gospel and how they can be saved? Have you been praying for somebody to give their life to Christ? If not, we are hindering the work of the gospel because we're doing it. I know He's told us, but we're doing our own thing.